Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
Right. Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things.
All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here.
Jodi there.
And we are checking out another David Mitchell video here to react to. We enjoyed the first one. We're not sure how the audience is enjoying our reactions to it. The first one had a pretty decent response, but we're going to keep going because the first one was hilarious, where he was talking about unusually smart-looking people and how they dress, and the people that are wearing anything besides a tux is ruining it for all the other guys because you're putting too much thought into it. I liked his sense of humor. I liked how he focused on something simple, and he made it hilarious. What are we checking out today?
Dear America.
Oh, my word.
This could go in so many different
Why
ways.
do we do this to ourselves? In comes the comments on whatever we say. Stupid Americans, they know nothing. They have no idea what's going on. We hear it all the time, so you might as well type it in there. As you're typing in, if you like anything about this, or if you hate it completely, please don't forget to
like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're aware of our next uploaded videos.
I mean, honestly.
Do we really want them to tell us how dumb we are?
I mean, they're going to say
It's
it anyways.
kinda rude.
Honestly, if you're going to do the, the nasty with the comments, you might as well hit that subscribe button so you can come back. And if it hates your thing, then go for it. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. Here we go.
Dear Americans, as you know, everyone in Britain knows the Queen, and she's asked me to have a quick word with you on her behalf about her English. Don't worry, this isn't the standard tedious British sneering about lieutenants and aluminum. Essentially, her message is, use it how you like. She doesn't mind. She doesn't mind about the sensible ones, like spelling plough the way it quite obviously should be spelt, but nor does she mind about the silly ones, like saying tidbit, because you think the syllable tit is intrinsically rude. By all means, leave the U out of colour if it bothers you. I can quite see that the bit of a car you put stuff in looks more like a trunk than a boot, and that sidewalks are the bit at the side that you walk on. Fine, says the Queen. Help yourself. She couldn't care less. She couldn't care less, though. Not she could care less. That's the one thing she'd really like you to stop saying, because that, as an expression for not or hardly caring, just makes no sense. If you could care less about something, then all you're telling us is that you do care at least a little bit, because you could care less. But if you couldn't care less... Look, observe this graph. Here's me on the scale of caring. I'm at 0. Therefore, since negative caring is impossible, or rather is simply caring of another sort, love and hate being different sides of the same coin, etc., etc., I couldn't care less. I could care more, but I couldn't care less. If I could care less, I would have to care at least the smallest possible unit of caring in order to give myself room to care less. I can't care nothing if I could care less. But I might care much more than nothing. I could care anything from here to here. And I could still truthfully claim to be able to care less. I could care less is absolutely useless as an indicator of how much you care, because the only thing it rules out is that you don't care at all, which is exactly what you're trying to convey. So that's the one thing I really want. The Queen really wants you to stop saying.
I will.
Although while I've got you, the expression is, can you hold the fort? Not hold down the fort. If I ask you to hold the fort, the metaphor I'm employing is perfectly clear. You and I are in the fort together, holding out against the enemies of the fort who are besieging the fort. I now have to pop out of the fort for a bit to get some printer toner or take the cat to the vet. While I do this, don't worry about how I'll get past the besieging enemy. I have a secret tunnel and a false beard. While I do this, I want you to hold the fort so that when I come back, we'll both still have the fort. A perfectly reasonable metaphor embodying a sound military strategy. If I ask you to hold down the fort, what the hell am I talking about? Hold down the fort while I go out, because as you know, it's an inflatable hover fort, and once relieved of my weight, it might float off into the sky. Hold down the fort, and when I get back, the two of us can tickle the fort. No, meaningless. Stop it. But those are the only two things. Stop doing those, and you can say research and Bernard to your heart's content. Although, herbs, really? You're French now, are you? With your herbal tea and your herbal remedies? Well, fine. Whatever makes you happy. I could care less.
Well, now I want to know how the British say research. How do they say we should?
Research? No, I don't know.
Right? I don't know.
Research.
I know that instead of process, they say process. Like they do the O. Anyway, I don't know. But I had to laugh because we do take the U out of all of the words that they put it in.
Color, is that what you want to say
Favorite.
it?
Color, favorite. We take out the U out of all that. But I have definitely heard of could care less and couldn't care less. It's kind of the same of it should be I could have had. Could have, could have. Apostrophe VE. But people are now saying could of. OF. And I'm like, could of what?
Yeah. The couldn't have cared less and it could have cared less. I would say naturally I would agree with him just from like, not without thinking about it. I mean, obviously he's correct, but without thinking about it, I would say, yeah, I would lean to where he's saying. Hold down the fort. That's where it's a little iffy for me. I understand exactly what he's saying, and when you have one side of the argument, you're going to make your argument one way, philosophy 101, and you're going to make it hold down the fort. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I want you to hold it down. Not the fort's going to go floating away, but just as if you were to hold something down so it stays the ground, so it doesn't go somewhere else, you're going to hold it down. You're going to make sure things are still running properly.
Yeah.
Holding the fort, I would be like, what, you want me to hold it? You want me to hold on to it? You want me to touch this wood panel or that wood panel or the trap door that you're sneaking out? What do you mean by hold the fort? So for me, I get it's comedy. I understand it's comedy and it's hilarious and he's absolutely true in a lot of ways. For me, that's where I object a little bit because I do, and it's what you're used to, right?
Yeah.
Your whole life you hear hold down, hold down, hold down. And he's talking about how it's an American thing.
Yeah.
Obviously. But that is one that I do feel for myself feels better and makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I was like, do I say hold down? I was like, I don't think I even say it at all. I just don't think I say that.
Oh, I think I say it all the time.
I always say like,
a month.
I say idioms all the time or like metaphors like hit the light. I'm always somebody says, oh, well, you hit the light or, things like that. But I wish he had more. Like, I want more. I'm not done. I need like a part 2 and a part 3.
Yeah.
What are the other things that we say that drive the British crazy? Like just ways that we've changed things, or maybe they've changed them. Maybe we've kept it how it originally was when we came from England, and they changed things because they did not want to be associated with us Yanks.
It's a very American way of looking at things right there. He did mention some other things real quick at the very end, so that was kind of funny. Right at the beginning, like the aluminum. I think a lot of people pronounce it aluminium, or it's actually like, not to be rude, it just sounds so funny because it's so different than when you say aluminum.
I'm gonna have to look
but
it
I think
up.
it's also aluminum. Like you look at the spelling for aluminum, it's not the way we say it. It's spelled differently. It's phonetically spelled differently than the way we say it. I think it's aluminium is the way most people that aren't from here, that are probably British, say it. What were some other ones that he mentioned there that were really funny? I don't know. But
I know he said some, but
he had some quick ones there.
I kept watching the little inchworm in the back.
Yeah.
I was so distracted. I was like, oh, that's so cute. I love it. Yeah, I know that I'll listen to audiobooks with the kids in the car, and then recently I've been listening to audiobooks while cleaning and doing different things. I used to hate audiobooks, and like the last 4 or 5 months I've kind of loved them. And I've been listening to a couple of British ones, like one was the Thursday Murder Club, and it's British, and it is interesting when you hear things that they'll say certain things, and I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting way of saying it. Like, not bad, and sometimes I like their way more, but I can't say it because people will make fun of me.
Some of it, yes, that's very rude. You shouldn't do that. Stop. Hey, be quiet. But I think research, I think they say research. I don't think they pronounce the E.
Oh, okay.
In research.
Research. I bet you're right, because they say process instead of process instead of process, and they say something else that's driving me crazy. They say another word, a very common word, very, very differently. There's
a lot of different things that are said differently.
Yeah, I can't.
One thing I'm curious if this is a British thing or it's just an American thing. On the like when I see the word finance, I say finance. But a lot of times on commercials here where we're living, they'll say finance, and it drives me crazy. So let me know if that's a British thing, finance or finance. Do you hear the long I or the short I? Let us know. Other things are like harassment or harassment.
Harassment, yes.
Drives me crazy because to me it's just harassment. Let us know if that's a British thing or if that's, again, just Americans being confused with themselves. Let us know. Comment below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.